Qasem Soleimani has been killed, and his bloody rampage is now forever gone.
Speaking in South Florida, President Trump says the world's worst terrorist had to be stopped. Now the question is, how will Iran respond? Tonight, the very latest on the president's comments and reaction from Congress. Also tonight, Iran vowing revenge, prompting the Pentagon to deploy an additional 3,000 troops to the Mideast. They are in addition to about 700 soldiers deployed this week after the storming of the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Today, President Trump declared that Qasem Soleimani's reign of terror is over. He defended the United States operation that killed him while speaking at a megachurch in Miami-Dade. WPTV News Channel 5's Todd Wilson has reaction to those comments from those at the event.
President Trump got cheers from evangelical supporters at this area megachurch as he discussed his reasons for the strike. President Trump held his rally at King Jesus Miami, a planned event at a megachurch home to thousands of evangelical followers. But attention quickly turned to the president's comments of the killing of Iran's top general.
That terminated the terrorist ringleader responsible for gravely wounding and murdering thousands and thousands of people.
The president says he does not want war, but added he won't hesitate to act when terrorists threaten American interests.
So let this be a warning to terrorists. If you value your own life, you will not threaten the lives of our citizens.
Supporters at the Miami event say the U.S. drone strike was the right move.
My family's in Israel right now, so we're definitely worried, but we have total confidence in President Trump to do the right thing.
There has to be a message saying that if you mess with us, it's not going to go far.
With large crowds inside, many sat outside to watch the comments, a speech that touched on the need to defeat anti-Semitism and the issue of religious freedom.
As a Christian, I support Trump because he has done more for, I don't know if he's a Christian himself or not, that's his problem, but I know he's done more for the Christian community than any past president, including Bush.
Well, President Trump also discussed that he plans to be around for a very long time, and as long as he's around, he's going to protect the Second Amendment. In Miami, Todd Wilson, WPTV News Channel 5.
Earlier, President Trump speaking today from Mar-a-Lago, his first remarks since U.S. strikes killed Iran's top military commander. The president emphasized the danger of the regime and what Iran needs to do now for peace. While saying the strike was not intended to start a war, at the same time, President Trump was resolute about doing what is necessary to guard against retaliation.
What the United States did yesterday should have been done long ago. A lot of lives would have been saved. If Americans anywhere are threatened, we have all of those targets already fully identified, and I am ready and prepared to take whatever action is necessary. And that in particular refers to Iran.
Now, many are wondering if and how Iran will react to the attack. We spoke with a former CIA analyst here in South Florida who tells us Iran will not fight a conventional war with the U.S., but may rely on militia attacks around the world as well as cyber attacks.
This is not necessarily against our military. U.S. businesses, things like infrastructure, you've got water, electricity, banking, all of those things are targets of opportunity for the Iranians.
Lisa Ruth also says it's likely Iran may wait weeks, even months, before retaliation. Well, tonight, politicians are reacting to the death of Iran's top general. Republican Senator Marco Rubio tweeted, first, Soleimani wasn't assassinated. He was killed on the battlefield during active operations. Second, he was in Iraq in violation of a 2007 UN Security Council travel ban. Third, he spent the last few days coordinating imminent attacks against American citizens, allies, and interests. Republican U.S. Senator Rick Scott said Soleimani was responsible for the death and maiming of thousands of Americans and tens of thousands worldwide. Scott went on to say, quote, we should all be concerned about the potential for retaliatory strikes and escalating tension with Iran. No one wants more war. Enough American blood has been spilled in deserts halfway around the world. Well, the Democratic presidential candidates on the trail today agreeing Soleimani was a serious threat, but they question how the strike was carried out and whether it could further escalate violence.
He deserved to be brought to justice for his crimes. But no matter how rightly reviled he was in the West, He was a senior figure of the Iranian government. And there's no doubt that Iran will, in fact, respond.
This is a dangerous escalation that brings us closer to another disastrous war in the Middle East.
If we have learned nothing else from the Middle East in the last 20 years, it's that taking out a bad guy is not a good idea unless you are ready for what comes next.
And Pete Buttigieg said he wants answers for the role Congress should play in the decision and if American allies were consulted.